Crying emojis in the chat, pimps. Crying emojis. Now you may ask, why are we playing Whiterun? Well, apparently our boy DSP yesterday had his day off. And I'm going to play a video for you guys. And you're going to see that it is quite pathetic. It is quite sad. And I don't know how two people can live this way. But they do. And I guess they enjoy it. So let's get into the video. Phil's Day Off.
Time for that weekly segment that we all love and I like to call Phil's Day Off. Well, honestly, this week there's not too much to talk about. Once again, another week where both my wife and I were kind of strapped for cash. There's not much going on.
Running theme of every week, he never has cash.
Had a bunch of errands to run and stuff like that. The only thing I'll say, it was a very good food day because we spent most of the day home. You know, I went and ran errands. I had to get kitty litter for Jasper this week. You know, grocery shopping, things like that. When I was out and about.
Why does one person has to designate one whole day to run all their errands? Kat, either before or after work, could take her ass to the supermarket or Petco or Pet Supply or wherever they buy their litter and pick up the fucking litter. There's no point to setting aside for your day off.
And we stayed home a lot, and I watched Kat play a lot of Days Gone, which she's been playing recently. It's funny because when it first came out, Days Gone was panned by critics. Critics saying this game sucks, it's boring. They were true, it was correct for the first 10 to 12 hours of the game. If you get through the first 10 to 12 hours and you go to the third camp in the game, that's when the game opens up, the story gets great, there's variety in gameplay.
So this turned into my day off to a let's critique Days Gone.
But this was one of the first times that it was pretty apparent that mainstream gaming journalists aren't very honest. Most of them never played it that far, but they claimed they did. Once you get to the middle of Days Gone, the game gets way better. Okay? Now, personally, I was very critical of the game. At first, I thought Days Gone sucked. But then once I got past the first 10 to 12 hours and I got to the middle of the game with all of you years ago, we were blown away at how good the plot was, how the variety of stuff happens, how things open up, the upgrades you get. You're fighting hordes of monsters. It's really neat. But you have to basically tough through some of the worst pacing in gaming history to get to the good part. I did that, and I said Days Gone was actually one of my favorite games of the year, while most game journalists shat all over it saying the whole game was boring because they never actually played it past the first 10 hours. They lied. So the game sold poorly, and eventually they ended up spinning it into being, you know, free for PS Plus. They were making every effort to get this game out there to get people to play it, and it just didn't really happen. Now, over the years, people have grown a new appreciation for the game as people played it via different ways, and then said, hey, will there ever be a sequel? To which Ben Studio, the game developer, was outright said, no, but we were told by our parent company, we're absolutely not. We're never getting a sequel. The game was a huge money flop because everyone basically panned it and said that it sucked when it really didn't. It's pretty fucked up that it happened like that. And it sucks because now Bend is working on other stuff. You know, they're never going to make a sequel, which sucks. The game is amazing. I'm serious about it. Like, if you haven't played Days Gone, you are missing out on one of the best modern games of open world exploration, you know, post-apocalyptic story. It's one of the most well-written, acted. It's so good. And most people never played it because they thought it sucked because a bunch of reviewers were shitheads and lied about playing it when they really didn't. So anyway, you know, Kat's playing it now, and she's in the best part of the game, that middle section, and she's like, oh my god, she loves it. And by the way, it's very intense. Some of the very serious plot lines and gruesome stuff that happens in the game, but yeah, she's loving it, you know. It's fun to see someone else play it and love it as much as I did because she gave it a chance, you know. It's funny because when the game first came out, she was playing it and didn't give it a chance. She quit within like the first 5 hours, but this time she toughed through it and now she loves it. So, anyway, we did that for a lot of the day, and then for dinner, we ordered Hawaiian barbecue. Now, I've not had Hawaiian barbecue since we ordered it for Feasting with the King earlier this year, and oh my god, it's better than I remember. So I got a platter. They have this combo set. It's a piece of breaded fish. I'm not even sure what kind of fish it is, plus 3, what do you call it? Breaded and fried shrimp, and then a side of the barbecue chicken with rice and macaroni salad. The shrimp were insanely crispy, and this is delivery food, so that very well could have been shit. It was insanely crispy. I'm biting into it, I'm like, oh my god, like, this is so good. It's tasty as shit. It's so good. The fish, I couldn't even tell you what kind of fish it was because the tartar sauce was so good. The tartar sauce they gave me was amazing, and as I told you guys when we did the Hawaiian barbecue months and months ago, the barbecue chicken does not look appealing. It looks bland. You start to eat it, you're like, oh my god, it's so good.
What the hell was that? Oh my lord.
And by the way, when I say barbecue chicken, no, it's not coated and fried. It's just dark meat chicken, somehow prepared and slow cooked, and it's super duper good. It's so amazingly delicious. So we had a great time with the food. You know, my wife got two chicken 2 ways. I think it was barbecue and katsu chicken, and it was so good. We had a great meal. Like, wow, this is the one day a week we don't, you know, cook. And finally we got something that was like, wow, it's really amazingly delicious. And we're like, damn, we gotta remember Hawaiian barbecue more often because we almost never get it. Like, why not? This place is so good. We should order from this place more often. So, very good. So Penko Breadcrumbs, being incredibly stupid, literally ignoring everything I just said, says, well, if you don't have a lot of money, why do you order out less and cook at home more?
Exactly, Phil. We know you DoorDash 5 or 6 meals a week. The bank leaks show it, and we know. And then especially with the recent pictures of your wife, it's obvious that you know, she's probably getting, you know, second breakfast.
I literally just said the one meal a week we don't cook at home. You know, because it's the day off, and on your day off, you don't want to be sitting around cooking. It's supposed to be your day of rest or relax.
On your day off, you don't want to spend your day sitting around at home cooking, but yet he's spent his whole day at home doing nothing, probably on Twitter, probably ignoring his wife, while she plays Days Gone. That's your life. So he claims. How pathetic.
Relaxation, and it's good to have variety and not be cooking every day. You have something different by ordering out. It's like your date day, basically. You know, I spent the day at home with my wife, and then I said...
You heard it there, you almost slipped up. He was like, my mom. Let's hear it again. Hold on a second.
With my wife, and then I said, let's... My wife, and then I said, with my wife, and then I said, let's order something nice for you can hear
he's gonna say my mom.
Ourselves for the day. I don't know why I answered to these people because the stupidity is just so overwhelming. It's like a vacuous black hole sometimes. So you know what? Next time I'm just gonna say you're an idiot and I'm gonna ignore you. Okay, so anyway.
Okay, Bims, that's the video. God, that is so sad and pathetic. Yet again, another day where Kat stayed at home playing video games. They ordered takeout, and Phil spent his day probably, you know, recreating the incident. I don't know. Alright, folks, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's quite sad. It makes me appreciate the wonderful life that I have. So, peace out.